around the
No.
Because
Talking about the
yesterday I hear
rains.
there was some crazy traffic on the Kaswa
Because of the
stretch for
rains.
hours, yes.
Crazy stress.
Apparently one side was completely flooded,
and
so they all had to be
you know
into
that
another
thing has existed for a very, very long time. It looks like a mudslide on one side of the road. The authorities know about it. I remember that when my father was alive, he had spoken with somebody at the Works Ministry and told them to plant a certain kind of grass to hold the earth.
Water,
You know, but nobody's listening. And each time it rains, the water comes down with the silt and comes off. What that means is that if you have your building atop that side, gradually your foundation is being washed away. And the people there should demonstrate so that authorities pay attention to them, because the assemblies go to them to take property rate. And if this keeps happening, it keeps affecting the road, because the main Kaswa road, that's our only, if you like,
connecting road to the central region.
So that if that road is damaged, it will then have an effect on the dam, the Wager Dam. It will have an effect on the houses there. It will have an effect on the road, economic activity. Yesterday, because it just blocked about 4 or 5 hours, you should have seen the traffic, bumper to bumper.
Apparently people walked home yesterday.
People walked home. People couldn't move.
Yeah.
So you ask yourself.
Some go home after midnight.
Wow.
In fact, yesterday.
I've been in traffic from what time?
Just
like
from
7?
Yeah. Just from Wager to Botsiano and some of those connecting areas. Because I know a former worker who made a post, and subsequently dawn I asked her on the message, because she put it on the status, and she said it was because the road was blocked as a result of the rains.
So did she leave her car? Or she...
No, she used public transport.
Oh, okay.
And she had to get off the trotro and then walk.
Do you know that some people actually parked their cars and left it and walked?
Apparently.
And you can imagine within this period when fuel is very expensive, you can't keep your air condition on. And you know, all these people also go to the market. And when you have the statistical service raising the figures to just 40.4%, you keep asking yourself. Because I was just going through the trends and what they were telling us by being the month-on-month food inflation. And you keep asking yourself, it's just 3.2%. So there was just an extra price average for food of just 3.2% over the month of September. Doesn't make sense. Because we even just did a story, and we have consistently done stories in which Judith followed somebody to the Kaneshi market, somebody who cooks food for people, I mean, commercially. And the calculation of 600% increment in the price as of a month ago, before the inflation rate came.
Based on the prices they gave her at the markets.
Yes. Yeah. That she buys. You know, she buys them almost every week or every day.
And the Ghana Statistical Service says there's just like a point.
It's 3.2% month on month. And of course, what we are seeing, 40.4% is year on year. When you look at the prices on the market, and the Statistical Service comes to tell you that, oh, your food inflation is just 3.2% over the last month, you question yourself whether is it because you're delirious or you're incompetent in mathematics. As a result of that, we should accept what the Statistical Service is telling us, because they are the bosses, they are the experts. And they'll come and tell you that when we went to how many markets? They went to 57 markets. And then they looked at 47,877 items and their prices.
That's how they
and then they look at over 8,000 market centers across the country.
8,000?
Yes, across the country.
But you see, I always say, look at your dining table.
Yes.
The things on your dining table.
That's what determines the rate
That
of
is
inflation.
what, I mean, so it's not about what is said, but what is here now. If you buy cocoa, which you used to buy for 1 cedi, 1 cedi 50 pesos, now for 3 cedis and 4 cedis, that's inflation. If you buy, I used to buy fruit. I used to buy fruit every morning, at least 30 pieces. I have stopped. And the crew keep asking me, oh, you bring fruit?
Yeah.
So the woman is selling sorry, but it used to be 1 cedi. Now it's 2 cedis.
Yeah.
If I buy 30 every morning, how much do I earn?
Yeah.
Because I don't do galamsey, I don't do 419, I don't do sakawa, I don't collect money from anybody.
No over invoicing,
or
etc.
Double salary.
And you know, the last time I went to Jamestown, I remember a year ago I went to do a story there.
Yeah.
And so I went to eat some. When you're getting into Jamestown itself, just opposite to where we have the lighthouse.
Okay,
yeah, that road. There's some kenke based.
The
only time I didn't eat kenke there was when we had COVID. But usually when I'm in town, I have some
so
corner there.
Yes.
I went there and the bowl of
Isn't that why we
kenke.
did the story?
Yeah, okay.
And the bowl of kenke has reduced. It has
shrinking.
At what price?
It was.
Have they been forced to increase it to like 5 CDs?
No. So they are doing it at 2 CD, the 2 CD. But the ball of kenke
you have
has
to buy
reduced.
like 3 before you be satisfied.
Two.
Because usually if you take one,
it's heavy.
And as for Accra, when you go the kenke, because it's.
But you haven't seen the size of Banku lately.
I have.
How much it is going for?
I have.
Yes.
It's even worse for those that
tiny.
The boat food one. Yeah. Because the boat food one, you can't communicate with the caterer, the restaurant, anybody. So, it is virtual.
The food is brought to
you. They are killing you.
So when I think that we need to be more realistic and honest with ourselves. This morning, the Agric Ministry will start their, bring food to the Agric Ministry. I hope that the bills will not be inflated again for how much fuel is, because the whole concept is that, the people bring the what do you call it, the produce from the farm gates to the market, and it's expensive, so people are complaining. So they are trying to centralize it. But in trying to centralize it, there's a fuel cost.
Yeah.
And then there was also the effect of the market women losing out on the business.
Exactly.
And then the chain of people who pack the stuff, because if the market women are not able to come to the market to sell because people are not patronizing them, it means that the local assemblies who also come for the market tools will also not be getting money. So you are trying to solve one problem, but you may be creating many other problems. And that's why I ask the question. You see, the minister is only looking at fuel, but the rice growers have told us that we will have a shortage of local rice next year. And they didn't start saying that today. They started saying that a long time ago, because in terms of policy, there's no support. What kind of fertilizer support do we give to local rice farmers? What kind of support do we give to them? What kind of subsidy? And yesterday I mentioned this. Subsidy, all of those ones. And you see, we will get to a point where, this is a prediction I'm making, we'll get to a point where government will say, okay, you say we should ban foreign rice. Okay, so we have banned it. Local people, deliver. And then they will not have the capacity to deliver whatever it is that over the 1 billion we spend in importation. They will not have the rice, the capacity to deliver. And then they say, we told you that they don't have the capacity. You have not amplified the people's capacity. How do you expect them to deliver, to fit into nations that have cheap labor, nations that have policies that support their local farmers, nations that even have state farms that they harvest from, nations that have cut tariffs on things that they import to do those farms, nations that have fertilizer subsidies, nations that do not price their fuel and their water and their electricity on the farm gates just like they price for everybody else. So we need to sit down and think if we really believe that Agric is what will take us to the next level.
And for me, the concern and very critical points you raised about the fact that the traders, the markets women are going to lose out if the Agric Ministry decides to go ahead with this, which they've started anyway, because as of this morning, we're told that we should be expecting some food items to arrive. So could they have collaborated with these markets women? Because you're saying that they are the ones who are inflating their prices on the markets, and they're giving the excuses of the price of fuel and other factors. Could you have collaborated with them? Made us all aware that we brought this from the farm gate at this cost. We're giving it to the market women at this cost. And so the range should be between 10 and 15. So if you go to the market and there's any market woman who's selling it at 20, then you should know that she's trying to make too much profit. Don't buy from her, because there'll be other people who'll be selling within that margin. Have they even attempted that before saying that I'm going to bring everything to the Agric Ministry? Because if I'm a market woman and I've spent over 100% transporting the food to my place, and you're telling me no one should buy from me when you haven't helped me to even try and manage my expenses, then there's really no point.
Bella, I think I solidly agree with you. That is why when the president pointers of 12. One of them was about clamping down on profiteering. We thought it was a great idea because it was something we always said the policymakers, the president, his ministers needed also to have a certain head on or clamp down on. And that's why we need this collaboration between the Ministry of Agric and the Ministry of Finance. And yesterday, Johnnie and I were in Parliament.
Yeah, we were in Parliament.
Just this done, I was going through one of the videos that usually Johnnie plays. And it's the Occupy Flagstaff House video of the finance minister. At the time, he was boss with Data Bank.
Yeah.
And the reflections and the recalls that he made when he was part of that march alongside his friends and those who are in government today. And even those who are so-called neutrals who are not in government today and still raising the issues. And you see how abysmally he has performed as finance minister. I think that if he watches that video, which Oliver will play currently, then
he should walk.
He shouldn't even wait for the vote of censure for the ad hoc committee. And yesterday, Johnnie was having some great conversation with some of the MPs from both sides of the House. If you watch the video, let's just watch the video so that Johnnie will come and make a comment on it. Because he keeps having surprises. The finance minister, Abba.
Proceedings could commence. The majority members who may have taken a cue from the party's position to absent from the censure serve notice.
I know that's a nation that deserves so much more come to this level.
I'm working like a bull and I'm paying my taxes. The government got to work like a bull as well and make sure that my road is fixed, that I have electricity, that I have water. That is their job. It is not for me to tell the president.
For me, it was very reminiscent of the 70s during a champion's time, which were really bad times where we all slept at the petrol station. So that's indication that, you really need to get up and talk about it because we cannot, as a nation that deserves so much more, come to this level.
I'm working like a bull and I'm paying my taxes. The government got to work like a bull as well and make sure that my road is fixed, that I have electricity, that I have water.
You see how Ken talks and how he talks now. There's a difference. Now he talks like Pastor Johnnie.
Where's Ace?
Oga White.
Where's Ace?
Quoting Bible. So the finance minister spoke about Joshua and Caleb in the Bible. And yada. We're a proud nation. We'll not go to IMF.
Yeah.
I say, until the finance minister or all the people, my own friend John Kuma or Trebefi, all those people who said we will not go to IMF, they need to apologize to us. We deserve the apology. I'm saying this because President Akufo-Addo in 2016, while he was looking for power, mounted the platform and said that if it were him in power and the economy had performed that bad under his predecessor, when fuel was not up to 5, the CD dollar rate was not up to 5, and all those conditions, he called it bad and incompetent. He said he would have apologized in those days. But the people will not apologize and they will not go away because of the money under the table. 2 questions. Will he apologize or is there money under the table? And you see, what the government is up against is not people trying to hate at them. They are up against their very own words, what they said in the past.
Yeah.
The government is now fighting their own words.
And the internet never forgets.
The internet is not forgetting.
Their own words are
because you use that to get into power. Now you are in power, and everything you have said going forward is actually going the other way. You were asking me where Ace Nkuma is. I don't know.
You haven't heard from him. Is he still working like a bull?
Yeah, but recently, of course, he works, he earns his bread. Recently, I heard Mr. Kofi Kapito, he wasn't happy.
Yeah.
And he said that now, Udi siwa mecha, mencha mebu. To it, if you mount it, I will cut it. If I don't cut it, I will break it.
I have a question to ask.
And you know, sorry. And you know why he said that? He said that because he said while they were in the struggle, while they were asking for the right things to be done in the previous administration, some people laid bay and were soaking in some sweet, soft life vibes. Now they are here, and those people who were soaking in sweet, love vibes are the ones at the forefront causing all the mess.
I don't understand. Are you saying there's a Didija?
But Divine
Mr. Odi and Mr. Otia.
Divine Agohum said it at the MPP Congress that elected him. He said there's a Didija. He mentioned the tall list of things.
Accra region boss.
Harry, before you go, just a quick question. So we'll go back to Boris Johnson. When he was refusing to resign, when they asked him to step down, his own people did not agree with his governance. So within 48 hours, about 50 of his MPs resigned. Now, we have our MPs who are, some of them are ministers in Parliament, saying that we do not agree with the vote of censure by the minority. Right. However, we still do not agree that Ken Ofori-Atta should remain in power as finance minister. What is the other means by which they're trying to get him out? At least the ministers, are they willing to resign to send a strong signal to the president that we do not agree? I'm just asking.
Article 7, please ask.
That are they willing to resign?
Who will resign?
But if they say that they do not agree with Ken Ofori-Atta still remaining as finance minister, and as a result, they will not do any business with him in Parliament, meaning that we don't even know if they will agree for him to read the
It is not as if Mr. Ofori-Atta does not know how to resign.
Should they not step down to send a signal?
Mr. Ofori-Atta knows how to resign because he resigned from Data Bank on the note of ill health. Now he is in power, and people are saying resign.
If he's not going, his own people.
His private company, he resigned.
Why are they not stepping down?
State-owned, all of us. He said, I won't go.